Okay, here we are. The time has come. I am here with Alyssa,
Finally.
finally, and this has been something in the making for quite a while. We haven't been able to just come out and talk about it because we wanted to be sure it was 100% before we did it. The landscape of Overexposed is upgrading. We have an enormously talented and creative community manager and more coming into Overexposed to take the reins and to give us what we needed. Alyssa's going to be around a lot. You're going to see her frequently. She is all in on OE. Her and I are really going to be teaming up to make a lot of this stuff happen. I am so excited. Alyssa, hello.
Hello. I'm so excited too. It's been really amazing just talking with you and having it all click and just it's just been a burgeoning of ideas and I'm just so happy.
It's hard to kind of put it into words right now for how much ground we've covered. It kind of feels like now we're rewinding a bit to now talk about this process. But so let's start it off. I have a few questions for you, and just to kind of get everybody. I think a lot of people in this space already know who you are, and if you don't, then you're living under a rock because she's everywhere. But regardless, just want to kind of talk it out and get people to hear your voice and have people get a sense for the two of us because we are going to be working a lot together. So I have a question for you, Alyssa, okay? The first one that I want to ask, what do you like about OE? Because that is important.
Yes, the passion, the fire is definitely important. Well, what I love about OE is it's the exact subject matter that I want to be living around. Basically, before our CNFTs, I really wanted to write a young adult science fiction novel, and so it's like, and I love like creating experiences, and OE has always just made, like, the first time I saw Car Dominator, I just started getting so freaked out and hyped, and I was like, oh my god, it's happening, the world is changing. Like, it felt like it was such a sign that NFTs were going to be really good, and I feel so lucky that I get to work in a world like that and have like some say in what happens with it with you. Like, that's just really exciting to me.
Well, they say that when in a relationship, if two people both feel like they are lucky to have the other person, it's going to be a really, really good relationship. I really feel like that's what we have is. Because when we approached you, I really thought you were going to be far too busy. You're doing all this stuff. And I was so happy to hear that you had some openings and that you were able to take on OE to the extent that you're taking on OE. Now, although you're going to be more than a community manager for Overexposed, that's the title we're going to use right now.
That fits a lot of things.
It fits a lot of things. Yes.
It can mean different things.
Yeah, exactly. But just going back to that title, what about community management and all these tasks that we're going to be explaining, and that's in this announcement, what about it do you like? What about it tickles your funny bone?
There's a lot of things I like about it. I really love, this is going to be a weird thing to say first, but I really love diplomacy and empathy. And I feel like those are both things that are important in that. And I love connection. And CNFTs has been the first place where I've seen it work so well, like all the time, and just have that there's so much like serendipitous awesomeness that ends up coming around in this place. And community management, like, you get to see all those things happening and facilitate all those things happening and create places where people can go to like find their people and like
Right.
to just like be connected in, because the world, like, I just get depressed when I go outside sometimes and no one looks at each other, and I just want everyone to get their fill of that stuff here.
Yeah. No, it's
So,
true. That's a good point. Nobody looks at each other. I feel like with NFT community, this community, you don't have to look anybody in the eye. You know what I mean? You
yeah,
don't have
yeah,
to look at
yeah,
anybody. You
yeah.
can just absorb what they're saying, their words, their brain.
Mhm.
So I totally vibe that. That's wonderful. Well, you're talented at it. I've watched it happen. I see what you've done, and you know, I think that I know not a lot about it. I didn't even know community manager was a thing, half a year ago. So I'm learning more and more every day, and I think that by watching you moving forward, I'm going to learn a lot more. And also to speak on that, I've been doing a lot more of it as we're in this kind of period where we were a little understaffed,
Totally.
and I don't want to say I'm good at it at all, but I was learning a little bit. But I'm so happy again with this onboarding because I'm going to be able to focus more. I'm going to really be able to focus more on what I need to be focusing on right now. So it's going to be it's just such a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, like more and more, once the engines are turning, it's
Yeah.
going to be easier and easier on you.
It's good. Yeah,
Definitely.
exactly. And boy, there's so much art in 3D and things that I have to focus on. Just research, like the amount of research I'm going to have to do to pull off these next 1.5 and 2, and also all the things we're working on for
Yeah.
mech. It's like, yeah, even just the
And
mech
all the
stuff. Yeah.
secret things.
The secret things, yes, it's tons of research and development. So I'll have more time for that, which is just so critical for this project. But so one of the things, Alyssa, is that we share is a passion for mental health awareness. I think both of us share, mental health issues, and I mean, anybody that's like us, there's definitely community members out there that can relate to exactly what we're saying right now. It is a journey. There's really good, there's really bad. Especially with me, I have really good and really bad, and it's just a really tough journey, and I think that a lot of people don't find the equilibrium for a really long time or ever. So I just want to talk to you a little bit, Alyssa, about just kind of mental health. Anything you want to share about it so that the community kind of knows who you are a bit better. Because again, this is about the team. This is about us. This project is about
The
the team, the
humans,
humans. And I think that
not just the mechs.
not just the mechs, not just the everything. It's really the humans are the engine of Overexposed in any NFT project.
Hell yeah.
So if you want to share a little bit about who you are and what's been going on or has been going on.
Sure. Well, I think that a few years ago, probably like 7 years ago, I started to really want to stop like running away from things and start confronting things. And I didn't really know what that meant fully. I didn't really know what I needed to like improve myself, but I knew that it involved introspection and like looking at things because that is something I did not like to do prior to that.
Mm.
And it's just been like there are downward spirals and upward spirals, and it's just like ever since I did that, it's just been upwardly spiraling. And yeah, in this space, I've done balanced living in the metaverse, Twitter Spaces, just talking about imposter syndrome, ADHD, like whatever, just so many different philosophical topics and also mental health topics, because I think it's so important that we talk about it, because everything, again, like with society, is like so focused on what's happening on the external, like economically, or just like what you're looking like on the outside. And I think that we actually need to be thinking about how we feel on the inside, because then the outside will kind of take care of itself, really.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, true. Yeah.
And also just been really interested in a lot of mental health topics that have really affected my life. And I want people, like, that's just another thing I'm really passionate about, is having people feel free and having people feel validated that other people are going through some of these things, because that really helped me heal a lot. Just like knowing that I wasn't, because you tend to like internalize things and beat up on yourself until you hear that other people have done it. You think it's like you or something you did.
Right. Right.
So I want
Yeah.
to spread that.
It's so true. I mean, I think that is one of the most sinking feelings is thinking you're alone in it and hearing that other people are going through exactly that. Not only can you relate, I think like Reddit, I got on Reddit one time and it was like
Yeah.
I'm like, let me just like post one of these issues I'm going through. And it was like people, boom, this is what I did. This
Text
is what I
wall.
did. It was
Yeah.
amazing. It was like just so it made me feel so much better even though maybe none of those suggestions actually helped me. It
Yeah.
made me feel so much better, like I wasn't alone, you know? And it's a different type. Like you have friends, you have family that make you not feel alone, but then when someone shares a mental health thing, it's a whole
Hmm.
different feeling of not alone, you know? It's like in a different category.
Yeah, it is a
You know
different
what I mean?
category.
So here, I'll ask this, and you don't have to share, but do you remember one of the lowest lows, like your turning point or the bottom?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Would
Well,
you
like
like?
I know it's not that bad.
I'll share mine. I'll
I've
share
torn
mine.
myself out behind Burger King. No, I'm kidding.
God.
No, but really, it was that I was living in the French Quarter. We'll see if we want to use it. I was living in the French Quarter and I was dating someone I did not like at all. I was just like drinking all the time and I was just not doing anything. And I was just so over that. And I didn't really know what to do, but I was just like, okay, I'm going to go live with my family. And my family is crazy. So I wasn't sure if I wanted to do that, but I was like, I need some kind of stability. And then once I did that, I just the universe. I feel like the universe recognized my effort, and then I just like met Trevor, and everything sort of started working after that.
Right.
It's really kind of crazy.
So that was kind of the turning point. That was a low. That was a low. And you can picture it in your head, can't you? Like it's hard. You try not to think about
Oh
it,
yeah,
but
yeah, 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 yeah.
it's
Eating
there
raviolis.
and it but it feels so good. It feels so good to think about that because it's done. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And for
it's
for
backstory now. It's
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 backstory. Exactly. It's backstory and I mean that's what makes us human. That's what part of the reason why I wanted to ask you that is because I think people should hear the fighter that
yeah,
you are.
dude, they should. They should hear that because people don't. And that wasn't even like the worst thing. That was just when I decided that I didn't want to do it anymore. That's when I decided like
Mm,
this is the end. Like there's nothing for me here anymore. I've exhausted this like partying playing field.
yeah.
It's not a party anymore.
Yeah, right. Okay. And yeah, and so that just shows I just like it because it really shows that the growth and that someone is a
Mhm.
fighter because not everybody does that. No, not everybody has that turning point. They stay there. They stay there forever. So that's something I want this community to see is the strength that this young woman has. It's
True.
inspiring. One of the things that I'm really looking forward to is that we are going to be working on lore together. Okay, overexposed is long overdue. It's something that's been in my head for a long time, but I just haven't had the time to like make it happen or really dig into it. And so when I really started digging into Alyssa and seeing what she does on the daily, I was like, this is going to be the partner that's going to do over lore for overexposed. And it's going to be more than lore. It's going to be an experience. What'd you say?
Whole new
A
world.
whole new world. And honestly, I'm just so excited for that. How did you get into writing lore? Like what was the process?
Well, that's been a long time coming. I mean, since I was little, I've just loved writing stories and poems, but I just I'm trying to think of like what made me really fall in love. Well, one thing that really made me fall in love with lore is SCPs. Secure, Contain, Protect. It's a website where anybody can write their own description of an anomalous object and like include a picture, and it's all you write. If you're writing it, you write it from the perspective of like the foundation, like this facility that is housing all of these anomalous objects. And I don't know. I just really like world building, and I'm fascinated with just being immersed in that and how much it can inspire your imagination. And I just like that to be around me all the time, really.
Yeah. Why live in reality? It's so boring.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all absurd anyway.
It,
Why not throw some pretend sentient beings around?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, I mean, just the way you write, it's just the things you come up with are just so creative and unique. I'm so excited for the community to see them because, of course, you've been writing lore for a while, but to have it now on a completely different project, completely different canvas. I've shown you some inspiration art, like we're getting to morph your brain into this other side, but using the pre-existing skills. So it's going to be so cool.
And I'm really excited about the fact that sometimes with your own project, it can be, it's easier to get excited about this with you right now. You know, like it's very motivating because I know that you're like, it's kind of how it is with the CNFT news. Like I know other people are depending on me, and that makes me like excited. It sort of gives you that hit of momentum.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And we are. You are a shining pupil. Do you remember the first time you heard the word NFT?
Do I remember the first time? Damn. Well, I sort of remember the circumstances surrounding it. We were kind of looking for a blockchain. Like we were already into crypto. Trevor was really, I thought it was kind of boring, but I was very into decentralization. So like as a concept, so I really liked it. And then when he told me about NFTs, it just all started going. We were just like, oh,
That's okay. It's all right.
like, holy shit, we can actually do something with so many of the things we've created and didn't know where to put now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't remember the exact moment.
Okay. Yeah.
I do remember when I first saw Space Bud, though.
That was the first project you saw?
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I guess they're really...
And Trevor was like, should I buy one of these or two of these? And I was like, you should definitely buy two.
Really? Were they as much as they costed now?
They were $50.
Did he get two?
58, sorry.
58. Did he get two of them?
Yeah.
Oh, good for him. Good for him.
Sharky and Bearson.
Well, I'm glad he listened to you. You're the financial advisor. This is financial advice. Well, that's one.
He would have done it single, but I made it a double.
Right. Yeah. Right. True.
What is one thing that you would want people to know if they could only know one thing about you?
Boy, gosh, I would say that I am very nihilistic. I would want people to know that my day-to-day to my art is coming from a place of severe, pessimistic, nihilistic, almost disgust towards the human race. That sounds really dark, but honestly, I think that...
We're going to change that around for him. Don't worry, kids.
Yeah, you gotta change that around for me. But honestly, I think that it's actually a really interesting way to live, and you can actually have just as much fulfillment in a life full of that than you can in a life full of absolute positivity. It's just a totally different way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, so I think that maybe is one thing that I would like people to know is that it is possible to live a happy life while still being very pessimistic and almost philosophically down about what we are and how small we are and inconsequential notions. I think that's me. That's just who I am.
I feel a lot of nuance on this topic. I totally relate to what you're saying, and I totally feel like we're in hell, but also everything is perfect at the same time. It's very confusing.
Yeah, it is confusing. Yeah.
But I really appreciate that you said that you want people to see that you can be happy and have that perspective, because I think it's very easy to look at it like in black and white ways, like, oh, well, this person has this perspective, so this is what they're going to be like. And that's just like not.
It's just not it. There's so much beauty on either side. There's so much beauty. Yeah, it's just, I think that it's all how you look at it. It's all how you look at it.
If you could choose any instrument in the whole music room, Which instrument would you like to be the last to play to play the last song that you ever heard?
Gotcha. Gotcha. So my magnum opus, what instrument in the music room? Well, shucks, almost none of them have been fully designed yet, so I don't know. But let me just design one right now.
I just wanted to name drop the music room, really. Just any.
Yes. Oh man, phenomenal. Okay, I got one. It would be an instrument that actually gets inserted into your throat. So it's actually a vocals instrument, and it turns your voice. Did you ever see The Fifth Element?
Yeah, of course.
You know how the diva sings, how she has those like runs and very.
Oh, yeah.
So it would be a vocal transformer that makes you sing very loudly, has this timbre to your voice that's robotic but beautiful, and
That
automatically
sounds appropriate to die to.
What'd you say?
That sounds appropriate to die to.
Yes. I think it'd be a very haunting instrument. So I think that it might be a really cool. I've never even thought about incorporating like a throat device into the music room. I think
Is this a real thing? Is this a real thing?
I think that I think that because, like, you know, it's what's your instrument? What do you play? Well, then now, once I know so many musicians, I'm like, do you play an instrument or do you sing? Like, now that's the question. It's not what instrument do you play. So I feel like maybe they shouldn't be excluded. And maybe if I can do it in a cool way that doesn't just look like a tube, maybe I can pull it off. I don't know. But then I have so many musician friends in Boston, singers that are amazing, and I could record all of them and then affect their voices and literally do a whole line of instruments, 100, 200 instruments that are devices, and have all these different vocals. Anyway, this is a bunch of music room. This is what I want to spend my time on, which is why you're here. So anyway, this is awesome. Okay, I can't wait to get more into that.
A voice is absolutely an instrument.
Yes, yes, it is. Yeah.
Okay. Now, I may already know the answer to this question, but either way, I want a supporting answer to this question. So, zombie or robot apocalypse? What would you prefer?
Very hands down robot apocalypse. I am so sick of zombies.
Well, don't worry, it's coming, baby.
Yes. Maybe
one of them's coming, maybe both.
All of the mechs are. Yeah, that's the robotic apocalypse. They're gonna band together and destroy everything. No, but definitely robots.
That would be beautiful.
That would be beautiful. I could just see like an epic cinematic like movie shot of like them. You know what I mean? We just need $100 million and then we'll make a mech movie.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah, easy.
Better than some basic robot apocalypse.
Screw that. And also zombies. Don't get me started. If it's about zombies, I pretty much want out because I'm just so sick of it. It's just a topic that just gets.
Well, that's true. That's
I don't know. And I know a lot of people love zombies. I love playing Nazi zombies in that one game of Call of Duty. I like that, but, you know, anyway, robots. Yeah, I just want to mention real quick that we have our very first movie screening tomorrow.
I gotta buy some popcorn. I gotta be ready for this.
Gotta be ready. I have a ton of popcorn here, so I'm stocked up, ready to go.
Good. Theo's gonna order pizza.
Oh, there we go. Nice. Yeah. So we're gonna be watching a movie tomorrow. Everybody together, come through. We're gonna talk about it a bit. We're gonna just kind of figure out what it's about. See if anybody has a different take on how we have a take on it. It's not a terribly long movie. All the details are going to be in the announcement and on Twitter and all that stuff. But anyway, I just wanted to say that is one thing that you brought up. You said, let's do a movie. And that was one of the things I'm like, Alyssa's killing it. She's really going to take this to the next level. And I love this movie.
Just saying things I want to do, really.
Just saying things you want to do. So anyway, movie watching. I can't wait to do more of these. First one's tomorrow.
It's going to be so good, yes.
So guys, I think what this was for is mostly to talk about Alyssa and a little bit of myself. And I think that in the future, we're going to have tons of time to talk about what she's going to be doing, and all the plans and all that. So I hope you had a good time. Until next time, when we learn more about what she is planning.
WOE, and I am so excited to be here. We're gonna F this place up with awesomeness.
Yes! All right, let's do it!
High five.
Whoosh.